Alright, today we are going to do a review of my new Weber Genesis 2. I think it's the S-310. It's a stainless version of it. It's a 3-burner propane. I don't think it's going to take too long. I just replaced, this replaces actually my other Weber that was actually my mom's. It was about 17 years old, and one of the burners started to catch on fire, so I had to get rid of it. But this one should last another 15 years. So I'm going to open it up and we'll do a little assembly and then hopefully try it out, see how it goes. Alright, so we unboxed everything. I'll tell you, it was packed in there really tight, really secure. Probably the best pack job of anything I've ever really taken out of a box. So I took some of the stuff out. The first steps after you just assemble some of the grill when you take it out of the box are to put the wheels on the 2 legs I have right there. Put the 2 big wheels on, then the 2 little wheels on. I just have to open up the hardware kit, which I didn't open up yet because I need 2, I think they're cotter pins that hold them on, and 2 bolts that'll be the axles. So I'm going to go through and grab them, get a little bit more assembled, and then I'll come back. Alright, wheels are on. Pretty straightforward. You just put the wheels on, you slide that axle, or it's just basically probably a 1/2-inch shaft. That the wheels are held on with cotter pins, and you got to make sure there is an inside and outside to the wheel, so the cone shape of the wheel goes in. And on the outside, this will probably fold this up like that, and then there's a cover that goes on here that hides it. So I'm going to go put the front wheels on, which are right down there. Go to the next step. Alright, next step, take the bottom rack. I just laid it on top here because it's easier to use the frame as a table, and you just slide in the drip tray. That slides right in, and then this plastic piece, it rotates on this bar, and then it clips in right there. That's what holds your tray in. So next I'm going to take that and install it on the bottom section. I'm going to have to flip this over, and that's the next step. The wheels, these wheels just push right in. There's no hardware needed. Alright, next we are going to put these, I guess they're, I don't know if they're cross braces or not, go on like that, and then there's the second one that goes on right there, and they're held on with hardware. What's cool about any good hardware, the bags are labeled, so make sure you don't just rip them open, because if you look at A, look down on the instruction, A, and it's going to tell you what you need. So I've made that mistake before where I just rip the bag open and start pulling out parts, and then at the end you're like, oh, those letters and numbers really correspond. They could have made my life easier. So I'm going to put those in real quick. This is the first time I've needed a tool, just a Phillips head screwdriver. And I did get the bottom tray put on, or bottom tray, it's got the drip tray. All it does is slide in here. So far there's no attachment for those. There's just slots, it goes right in. It's going pretty well so far. Cool, got those 2 cross braces installed, 2 screws on each side, so a total of 4 per bar, 8 altogether. Makes it pretty sturdy so far. And all there is on the other side right now is the axle holding it. Next, there's going to be 2 of these. I got to flip this around because they go on the other side. So we'll flip this around, get those put in, and then we'll see where that takes us next. So far it's going to get another really easy. The instructions have been great. Got my other Weber, my tailgate Weber down there. That thing's probably 10 years old, you can't even tell. These are awesome grills. Anyway, let me flip this around and get to the next step. Alright, making progress. Got it up right now. And the pieces that I just installed were the wider cross braces right there and there. 4 bolts in each, 8 bolts total. Or screws total, sorry. What I noticed so far, all the hardware is metal, but the washers are all plastic. Just something to note in their construction, and something you can tell this is Weber because the grills I've owned have never had anything. they have locking casters. You know, locked, unlocked, and it rolls like, I'm talking, it's like butter. So I thought that's pretty cool. I'm gonna leave it unlocked so I can move it around. Next, I need to put all these pieces in right here. They just snap in all across and it makes a bottom shelf. No hardware required. There's the step right there. So we're gonna go put them in, step 12, and see what's next. All right, got those, I don't know if you want to call them slats for the bottom. Literally took about 30 seconds. They snap right in, no problem at all. So the base is coming along. See what we got next. We're going to step 12. No, 13. All right, so it looks like we're going to drop in the base of the top portion of the grill. So I didn't show it, but when you first unbox it and take the top part out, there's the lid is on. So there's a pin on each side with a cotter pin. You pull both of those out, pull the pins out, and you separate it, and obviously do this so it makes it easier to get to the step. So I have that sitting over there. We'll grab that, drop it in, keep on moving. All right, got that base of the grill body, and well, the base of the actual grill onto the frame. You do have to route the wiring and the gas line through and down. And I'm hoping I do this right. If you see this and you think it's wrong, let me know. I'll put it in the comments and I'll update it. But it shows the way you route it. They want the wiring to be on the outside of the gas line, not the inside. So the way I have it is coming in and going under. So that looks wrong. It should be coming and going over. So I'm going to move that so it goes over top of it. So this is the first part that I think is confusing. So we'll see. I'll get that on. Next up, I got to secure the front here. There's clips underneath. There's one there. And there's not clips, brackets. That gets a screw and actually gets metal lock washer. It looks like a star, basically, the washer that goes there. That I routed the wiring and the gas line temporarily, and then over in the back here, I put that screw and that screw in. That screw right there. They only go in to the end of threads. These are not threaded all the way up because the next piece, I think, attaches to those. And then the cover gets bolted in there and right there. So when we get that done, I'll get back to you. Alright, so all I did was mount the gas line. It slides into one of these clips, and then there's a bolt with a washer that goes in from the back. I did bend the gas line a little bit because when I put it on, it was like way up here, and I thought that was too high, so I just bent it a little bit. And then I put the propane holder, bracket, 2 bolts from the back with plastic washers. You know, you just put the handle of the propane cylinder in there. You can unlock this, put it on, lock it back up, and then it, you know, by weight, I'll tell you what your how much propane you got left. That was pretty easy, straightforward. 1 bolt and washer, or 1 screw and washer, another screw and washer. Pretty simple. There. Instructions going on to step 19. Sorry, it's getting a little dark in here. If you can see them right here and here, 2 screws and washers in from the back, and there's like little plastic nuts. I'm assuming that's to keep the propane bottle from hitting against the frame here, keeping it, you know, out level as opposed to hanging in. Next, we're going to put on the right side wing, just a couple, those 2 metal pieces and nuts attached there and there. Sorry that it's getting so dark in here. It got dark on me, so I lost my natural sunlight. One thing you notice on the inside here, if you can see that, if you can see under there. There, that's better. You can see there is I think it's a chain in here. Wow. There's a chain in there. It's in plastic. So that can also help you if you want to know which wing goes on the right side. Also want the one with the iGrill emblem on it. Right there. We'll put that on. It's going to go right up there. And we'll go to the next step. Alright, I got the wing extension on. Alright, got both of the side tables, or tray, or wings, whatever you want to call them, on. It would have been easier if I had an extra person to put this on, because this one actually folds down. Let's see if I can do this one handed. Folds up. Pull it up. You know, it folds down where that one over there is stationary. But in here, there's a bracket on both sides. It takes 3 screws into the frame, and lining that up with this edge has a screw going, or this side of the bracket into the table has 1 screw going in, and then a pin that's not attached that enables you to fold it. So if you can have 2 people doing that just to hold it in place while you screw it and make it a little bit easier. But I got it myself. Not too big of a deal. Running into my other Weber grill behind me. So we still have a couple more things to do. It is fairly tedious. It's not hard. If I could spend, straight time without having to run and do this or that, it wouldn't take that long. But we're getting there. Only have a couple more parts to put on. Let me get to the next step, and then I'll give you a little more info on where I'm at. Alright, so we put the side covers on. It's 2 pieces. It kind of hides your propane tank. There's some tabs here, and here on both sides. No, it's dark, it's hard for you to see. So these, you take them from the top, and then you slide them in, and they'll pretty much stay. And then right there and right there, there's plastic pins. You just push in, they snap in there and there, and that holds these right in pretty securely. That step was really easy, and it didn't require any tools. Alright, next step was to route the electrical wiring harness. So it came down and told you to go behind the rack and underneath, and there's 2 screws pre-installed into this, I don't know if you call it junction block or whatever, and they just kind of go in and slide down. That's not secured yet per the instructions. One thing I kind of thought was a little cheap, there's a holder for the wiring harness right here. It's plastic. This clips into it, and it's held on by basically a sticky pad that you put onto the inside of the frame. I thought that was a little cheap. That's pretty much the only thing I thought was cheap on this whole grill so far. I thought there could have been either a clip or something that snaps in and hold it instead of sticky tape, because I think that could fail eventually. But we'll see. Not a huge deal, and it's the only thing so far. Step back, see where we're at. Starting to take shape. All right, the next step was to secure that little junction box, whatever you have you, and put this plastic cover on. Another thing I didn't really like how it went together. It's sturdy. I'm sure that's just to keep the weather out, and I believe this is probably down there a fuse holder. Just the way that all bolts together, I didn't like. I think they could have done a better job with that. The wires are routed in there. I also think there's a little extra as far as the length of the wires, and that there's no shielding to cover them if something were to get in there. Just a little nitpicking thing, but I think there's too much wire and they're not protected. So far, it's just 2 things I didn't really like. Sorry, I zoomed in a little too much there for you. See if I can give you a better shot there at it. It's that piece right under there. So there's like a keyhole, like you can see underneath, that the 2 screws slip into and slide down with that cover on it, and then you tighten the screws to hold it all together. Alright, next you're putting on the front cover, and you have to connect the igniter button and all you had to do was take off these 2 plastic covers, the tabs, connect the white wires, and then next we're going to put on this cover. Alright, so that wasn't a fuse, that's actually where the battery goes for the ignition. So the ignition is now working. You can hear that. Alright, the ignition is good to go. I don't know what the term is for these 3 bars plates, but those went in, they just sit in the little grooves. And next we're going to put, I believe they call these the Flavorizer bars or something like that. Those lay in next. I'm going to put those in. The flavor bars are all in. Next step is putting the grate on and then the drip pan. So here it is, almost 100%. Trying to keep it in what light I have because I didn't bring up any portable lighting. So we're getting there, still need to put the knobs on. I got the upper rack put on, and you can actually fold it down if you don't use it. If you want to need more grill space, slide it right up. I believe the grates are all stainless steel. So I'm going to put the lid on, put the pins through, cotter pins, and I think we'll be just about finished. Here we are, fully assembled except for the knobs. I'm going to put those on right now. They come in a pack. I just push right on. We'll do that in a sec. There it is. This is the S-310, Genesis 2 S-310, so it's all stainless, stainless top. The majority of it is not stainless, like the base is regular steel. I thought the assembly was very straightforward. There's 1 or 2 areas where I was a hair confused, but nothing major. The only tool I needed was a screwdriver and a little wrench that they provided. No power tools are needed or anything. It rolls around effortlessly, and the top is pretty heavy, as you would expect from Weber. Stainless steel grates, electric ignition. You can get the iGrill thermometer if you need it. I have a ThermoPro wireless that I use, so I don't need it. One thing I like about Weber, congratulations on your new Weber grill, and I appreciate that. I really like it so far. Construction of it, like I said, there's 1 or 2 minor things I thought were a little chintzy, but that's not that big of a deal. And I think anybody with any type of ability should be able to put this together. Wasn't a big deal. Hopefully this video helped you. If you had a question about how it goes, I thought it went together pretty well. Put the knobs on real quick. There we go, fully assembled. Knobs went right on, pushed right on, no big deal. Decent, they're big, they're easy to turn. One cool thing is you push them in to turn, and then when they go back to off, it pops out and it locks in the off position. So that's another small feature you get with a Weber. I don't know if other grills have that. There we go. Got to take that sticker off so it doesn't burn up. And that's a wrap. And the best part about putting anything together, if you put a lot of different things together, is I had no extra parts. Everything is accounted for. So that's a win in my book. Hope you enjoyed this video. And that's the Weber Genesis 2 S-310 3-burner propane grill.